What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the video, and welcome into something that I've been thinking about doing for a long time, but finally it's taken the time to actually do it. I am going to be ranking each and every single one of my favorite Pokemon from each generation and every single type with this amazing graph right here. As you can see here, Generation 1 Poison type, it has every single Poison type here, and at the very end, I will be picking each of my favorite of each type and then crowning a favorite Pokemon here at the very end. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a long video here, so I hope you guys are ready for it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Either way, this is going to be a very fun video to do. I've been wanting to do this for so long, but I didn't know this website until another YouTuber did it recently. So now I have it and I can do it, ruffle some feathers, and question why you guys even watch me based on my decisions on my favorite Pokemon. Normal type from Generation 1. There's so many. I want to say there's actually so many good normal types from Gen 1. Like, for me, you got Lickitung, you got Kangaskhan, Tauros. I always loved Farfetch'd. You got Ditto. You got Snorlax. Like, you got Snorlax, though. I just realized we are going to be here for like an hour and a half to 2 hours doing this, by the way. So I hope you guys are locked in for this. Honestly, I think I gotta go Snorlax. Like, Gen 1 Snorlax, iconic. Like, yes, all the Pidgeylines are great. There's so many. How do you like Lickitung? Mainly because of its Pokemon Ghost Sprite, where it's basically just flapping its tongue. It's great, but it gets about, yes, go get you a snack, go get you something to drink. We gonna be here a good minute. Now, Gen 1 fire types. I'm gonna do this every single time for every single type because there's just so many good options here, especially from like Gen 1. Everything here except for Magmar and his titty forehead. That one's just kind of mid in my opinion. He's got a titty forehead. Someone censor it. It looks bad. I don't want to be basic and choose Charizard, even though Charizard is banging. I think I'm going Ninetales. Ninetales was solid. Got my popcorn. Let's go. They shots every time he picks the wrong Pokemon. You're gonna need to get your stomach pumped, and you're gonna have alcohol poisoning. Now, there are so many Gen 1 water types. I always forget that water and normal type are the most common of all typings. I always forget that because there are so many water types. How are you here? Was Kabutops and Kabuto always water type? Arcanine easy for me. Chris, I know you love that Pokemon. Lapras is a good choice, but honestly, there are two options here for me. You either got Gyarados. Okay, never mind. I can't pick Kabutops strictly on the fact that I completely forgot he was a water type. I can't pick it. I feel like I can't pick it. It's gotta be Gyarados. I'm basic, okay? I'm basic. Especially for like Gen 1. Gyarados is just iconic. If I don't see Lugia in this list, I'm fighting someone. You might have to fight someone. Who knows? And I feel like with the grass types from Generation 1, for me, this is an easy call. It's Victory Bell. Because if you ever watched the Pokemon anime growing up, I love James and his Victory Bell. That thing was always eating him, and I loved every bit of it. Easily my favorite. Now, electric types from Gen 1. Really? Not a whole lot of options here. Venusaur? Nope, not even the best starter. Honestly, I feel like it's gotta go Zapdos, because I feel like a lot of these electric types are just mid at best. Like, you have Voltorb, Electrode, they're kind of mid. Electabuzz, he's aight. Jolteon's kind of basic in my opinion. Magnemite, Magneton. I think we gotta go Zapdos there. I feel like it's cheating going legendary, but like not. Honestly, favorite ice type, it's gotta go Lapras. There's literally 5 choices, and none of them are like as good or iconic, I think, as Lapras. Lapras is so iconic, it was never given a baby form and never given an evolution because it doesn't need it. That's how iconic it is. I feel like Gen 1, for me, it's gotta be Machamp, because, like, each and every single one of these Pokemon, obviously, it's pretty obvious for, like, these ones, but it feels like they're just incomplete. These are just single-stage Pokemon that never got anything later on in the future. These are just baby form, middle stage. You got baby form, and now a mid-stage evolution. You got Poliwrath, which really, Now, poison types. Now, this is going to be difficult. Now, I don't want to pick the same Pokemon for the different types. You know what I mean? So, like, grass, I don't want to pick Victory Bell because I feel like that's just kind of cheating in some ways. But I don't know. We'll see how long I stick to that. But honestly, I think it's Beedrill. Beedrill is peak bug type. Pineapple on pizza, in my opinion, no, you're wrong. Pineapple on pizza is banging. It is bussin'. I know the YouTube comments are going to be heated about this one. Pineapple belongs on pizza.
Wrong.
Gengar? Nah, it's easily going to be the best ghost type. Like I said, I don't want to pick like the same of each typing, you know what I mean? And there's only one. Now, the best ground type, easily Nidoking. Flying types, though. Now, there are so many iconic flying types. Like, you got Charizard, which kind of is a cop-out, in my opinion. Pidgeot. You got all 3 legendary birds. You got Gyarados. You got Aerodactyl. And you got Dragonite. All really solid Pokemon. But honestly, I think it's got to go Aerodactyl there. That's such a good flying type there. And again, I don't want to pick the same of different typings. Like, I don't want to pick Gyarados again. So, best for Dragon. It's literally basically the only choice for Dragon. Let's be honest. So I'm going to go ahead and pick him for Dragon type. He's the best for the Dragon type. Because there's only 3, and it definitely ain't going to be a middle stage evolution. It's the boy, the pseudo-legendary, the main, the original. This is clearly Mewtwo. You sure about that? Yeah, it's got to kind of go Mewtwo there. Like, it can't not be. But now, bug types. There's some good bug types here. And I think because of my childhood self here, we got to go Pinsir. Pinsir used to be one of my favorite Pokemon growing up. I loved that thing to death. It was amazing. And now rock types, that's the boy Kabutops. Ghost types, Gengar. Can't pick anything else. Now, what's dark type to choose from? Missing no. Steel type, there's really no other option. Fairy typing is really limited too. Honestly, just for anime reasons, it's gotta be the fairy type. It is gotta be. Now, favorite starter. Now, call me basic all you want. That the boy Charizard. He the #1. He the best. And now, the gimmick forms from all the Gen 1 Pokemon. I feel like Gen 1 definitely had... Okay, no. Gen 3 had a lot of gimmick forms in it. Gen 1 got so many just different gimmick forms just because it's Gen 1. But which one is the best? The iconic, the most amazing of the gimmick forms being Gigantamax forms and also Mega Evolution. It's got to be Snorlax. It's got to be Gigantamax Snorlax. That thing is ginormous. It has a park on its belly. It's great. It's fitting for the Pokemon. Legend, it got to be the boy Mew. It got to be the boy Mew. Alakazam? No! Absolutely not. They said, hey, what do you want to do for this one? Let's give it more spoons. No, that's dumb. Absolutely not. Okay, now here comes something that's gonna be really hard to pick. My favorite one from Generation 1. I feel like for a nostalgia long video coming, I'm expecting this video to be 50 minutes to an hour long after editing, 100%. But honestly, I feel like nostalgia reasons, and also when I'm choosing my favorite for certain generations like Gen 1, because Gigantamaxing wasn't in Generation 1, I'm not gonna pick Gigantamax forms or like the gimmick forms from other generations. So, just a heads up on that one. But just for like nostalgia's sake, I think for me, I'm going with Snorlax because Snorlax has always been a Pokemon that I always love using. And it's just like, it's the boy. He the greatest. He the sleepy boy. I love him. There's nothing bad about Snorlax. Generation 2. Honestly, kind of mid for normal types, to be honest. Do I pick the titties? I might have to. Can I pick none? I don't like any of these. Like, honestly, Noctowl was probably my favorite out of all of those. Like, honestly, Gen 2 normal types, kind of bad. The little boy in me, I'm choosing Houndoom. Like, he's so good. But now going to water types, there's only one real option here. That's Quagsire. Look at that face. It's the best. That's the best face. He's the best boy. He the derp. He's great. Gen 2, grass types. Also kind of suck. Now, honestly, call me crazy. Call me crazy. But to me, you know what? I'm actually not that crazy. I was actually going to choose Bayleaf, but we're not going Bayleaf. I was actually about to choose Bayleaf there. And now Gen 2 electric types. Honestly, I think it's got to be Ampharos here. I feel like almost everyone on Gen 2 at some point had an Ampharos on their team. Had to have been. I feel like this one's a pretty easy pick. It's got to be Sneasel. Sneasel was amazing. It's such a dope Pokemon. I love it. It's got to be Heracross for Gen 2 fighting. Because, like, look at our options here. Got Tyrogue and Hitmontop. We don't really have good options for Gen 2 fighting. They're all bad. Honestly, it's got to be Crobat, too. Gen 2 didn't give us a lot of some typings, so it's got to be Crobat there. Now, ground typing. Okay, here's my thing. I'm not picking Larvitar or Pupitar. Because, in all honesty, before playing Pokemon Go, I had no idea these things were from Generation 2. I never found them in Generation 2. Nor did I play a lot of Generation 2. No. But that's besides the point. The games I played the most was Gen 3 and Gen 4. And also Fire Red. But that's besides the point. So I'm not going to pick them. I think you got to be the boy Steelix. Steelix is goated, honestly. Now, we got a lot of flying types here. I'm going to be honest, a lot of them are extremely mid. I think Skarmory. Skarmory is literally goated. Gen 2 psychic types. For anime reasons, it's got to be Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet's the goat. Bug types, Scizor. Again, goated bug type. Now, rock type, got to be Magcargo. Because let's be honest, none of us used a Shuckle. None of us used a Corsola. I feel like some of us used a Sudowoodo at some point, but like, it's got to be Magcargo. And like I said, I never use these in Generation 2. I didn't even know they were Gen 2 until Pokemon Go. Like, honestly, it's got to be Magcargo. Well, there's only one ghost type to choose from, so I guess it's Misdreavus. And Kingdra, since it's the only dragon type. Now, dark type, it's got to be Umbreon. I've already picked Houndoom, so I don't want to pick it again, and same with Sneasel. And, like, a baby version isn't going to win it. It's got to be Umbreon there. Steel types. Okay, I'm going back on what I said, because it definitely is not Fortress. It's going to be Skarmory there. I'm not going back and picking Fortress because I haven't picked it yet. I hated Fortress, and I still do. Now, Fairy types, Azumarill. Love Azumarill. Loved Marill. Loved that entire line. It was amazing. Now, starter, I will always say that I am a Fire type starter. Always loved the Fire types. But I think Feraligator's got the win. Feraligator's got the win. Actually, not even Feraligator. Totodile. I love the Chompy Boys, and that's one Chompy Boy right there. Now, gimmick forms easily goes to Tyranitar. The Godzilla look, amazing. But favorite legend, if y'all know me, and Jacob knows me, he knows which one I'm picking right here. The best legend to ever exist, basically. We're going with the boy, Lugia. Lugia is the bestest, and always will be the bestest legend. Now, favorite from Generation 2. I feel like this is probably going to be a cop-out, and not a lot of people are going to like this, because it's going to be a basic pick. It's Lugia. Lugia is by far one of my favorite legends of all time, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. Nothing tops Lugia, because the anime was amazing. It was amazing in the games. It's just all around the perfect Pokemon. I love it. Now, on to arguably probably one of my favorite generations, into Generation 3. And probably the game that I played the most, if I'm being honest. Throw hands if you didn't say that. Someone was. I feel like we're already going to get hands thrown in the comment sections. The comment section's already going to be on me for this one. But for normal typing, we're going to go Vigoroth on this one. Fire types from Generation 3. Now, it was probably one of my favorite Pokemon to use in Generation 3 as far as fire type goes. Torkoal. Love Torkoal. Amazing Pokemon to use. I always enjoyed using it. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I feel like there's only one real option here for water types. And that's the boy, the dancing boy, Ludicolo, the dancing pineapple. He's perfect. And honestly, he could probably win grass types too, because Ludicolo is amazing. Honestly, grass type, hate me for it, but I like Shiftry. I never really used Sceptile on them. Oh, I know I did, but I like Shiftry. Shiftry is by far was always on my team growing up. Now, electric types, it's got to be Manectric. I'm not picking Plusle and Minun. I'm just not. Favorite ice type, it's got to be Walrein. Like, I'm not picking a Cashfor form. Snorunt's kind of, and Glalie kind of meh. He's got to be the boy. Actually, I like Spheal more. Spheal's the round boy. He's got to make this list somewhere. It's got to be Spheal. But just so you guys know, favorite starter, boom, Blaziken. Hate me all you will, because I know I'm going to get some hate in the comments for it. Blaziken, goated. Loved it. I feel like a lot of people hate it because it was the first of 3 firefighting types in a row. But Blaziken, goated. Can't tell me it wasn't. And now fighting type. Hariyama. Hariyama and his big ol' hand. I love it. Poison types. Honestly, probably Seviper. Seviper, like, so iconic, and with the anime and everything, great. But ground typing. Ground's actually kind of hard because you got Swampert, you got Camerupt, you got Flygon, you got Wishcash, which is kind of like low on the list. Gotta go Flygon here. I know I'm upsetting people, but I'm going based off like what I used and remember enjoying growing up. And I never really used Swampert. I used Blaziken. We're going Altaria here. I feel like picking legends and stuff like this is kind of cheating. Honestly, actually, it's going to be Rayquaza there. Rayquaza is iconic. It's amazing. I love every bit of it. Now, honestly, psychic typing, this one's easy because there's really only 2, maybe 3 right options here. Metagross is definitely the best pick. But honestly, the other option that I was kind of baiting for was someone to say Gardevoir, so I could kind of judge them profusely. But now, favorite bug type. Honestly, I feel like people are going to judge me for this one, but he's Wurmple. He's the best boy, but Wurmple, gotta love him. Especially when he's shiny. I call him Purple because he's purple, and he's Wurmple, so he's Purple. Love him. He's great. Rock type. Actually, it's gonna be Aggron there, because I never really used much of any of them in my playthrough of the game. It's gotta be Aggron there. But it's gonna be Sableye. I love Sableye. It's such a good Pokemon. But now, Dragon types. There's gotta be Salamence here, because I'm gonna be honest, the Eon duo, not really my favorite. They're alright, but they're not my favorite. And easily one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, Absol. I feel like Absol is either a love-hate Pokemon. Either you love him or you absolutely hate him. My hand, I'd love him. He's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Steel types, you gotta go Mawile. I almost always had a Mawile at some point in my playthroughs. That Pokemon was amazing. Now, Fairy type, I feel like there's really only one real option because I'm not choosing Mawile again. It's Gardevoir. It just has to be. Favorite gimmick form. Now, if I take into account their shiny form, it really, to me, there's 2, maybe 3 real contenders here. And that is Mega Rayquaza, Mega Metagross, and Mega Sceptile. Those are easily the 3 real contenders here. This thing, especially with its shiny form, because I can actually put its shiny form on there right now. Look at that, they're so cool. We're taking it off though. It's iconic. But favorite legendary, it's gotta be Groudon. I was always a Ruby player growing up. Groudon, easily one of my favorite legends of all time. Now, favorite from Generation 3. Now, this is gonna be a really tough decision. Now, I'm not putting Megas into consideration because Megas weren't available in this game, so that's completely out of the option here. I think everyone loves Mega Rayquaza. I haven't found anyone who dislikes Mega Rayquaza. I'm probably gonna get some hate in the comments on this one because y'all are about to call me insane. I don't know, there's really 2 options for me here, but I really think it's gonna be Absol. He's one of my favorite shinies. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. It's Absol. It's gotta be Absol. It just has to be. I love Absol with all my heart. I love that Pokemon. It's like my 2nd favorite Pokemon of all time. I feel. Love that Pokemon. I know people are gonna get heated for that one. Favorite Gen 4 normal type. If any of you say Lopunny, you need to go seek Jesus. It's gotta be the Munch. Just look at him. He's great. Love the Munchlax. Favorite fire type from Generation 4. Now, again, I'm gonna be honest. I never knew Rotom was from Generation 4, and I never knew Heatran was from Generation 4, because I guess I never ventured to that part of the game whenever I played Generation 4, and never got them. So they're out of the question here. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Magmortar. It's going to Infernape, and now we're kind of lacking on water types here. Water types are kind of mid, honestly. Like, the only really good water types, in my opinion, are Palkia and Empoleon. I feel like those are kind of cop-out answers right there. Heatran and Warren Legends Arceus. I'm well aware, but back when I played the game before playing Pokemon Go, I didn't know they came from Generation 4. I had no idea. Like, I knew they were from Generation 4 playing Legends Arceus, but, like, from the original game, I had no idea they were there. Like, I guess I'll go with Palkia there. It's just fantastic all around. I feel like every single playthrough I had a Roserade in it. I'm gonna be an edgy teenage boy again. I'm choosing Luxray. He's better. He's got to be Mawile. Mawile is great. Just a quick PSA for you guys. I never played Gen 5, 6, and 7. I took a big break after Generation 4. Didn't play 5, 6, or 7, but I played 8 and 9. So the only basis I have on those generations are going to be from Pokemon Go. Just a FYI and warn. Fighting type, Lucario, easy. I thought for a long time it was a pseudo-legendary because of the Lucario movie, but he's not. But it's still a great Pokemon. Poison type, it's got to be Toxicroak. Toxicroak's great. Mawile, not Weavile. Oh, did I say Mawile? I definitely did say Mawile. I am stupid. Don't judge me. Ground type, it's a Chompy Boy Gibble. Love him. But it's got to be the boy Gibble. Gibble is amazing. The Chompy Boy. Love him. He the bestest boy. I have a reason for this. Drifloon. And that is solely on its lore. Its lore is messed up, and I love it. It's messed up and funny. It's basically a kidnapper. That's exactly what it is. Lore on that one's way too good to be Gliscor. It's way too good to be Gliscor. My thing y'all would learn about me, I love ghost types. Ghost types and dark types, I'm edgy. As y'all can tell with my pink hoodie, I'm very edgy. I love my ghost and dark types. Gallade, probably basically the only option for psychic types here. Psychic types are kind of weak in this generation. Bug types, the boy Skorupi. I love that boy. He's a cutie. One of my favorite Pokemon. Rock type Pokemon, it's gotta be Bastiodon. I love Bastiodon. As goofy as he looks, he the bestest boy. I love my Bastiodon. But now, ghost types. Again, I had no idea Rotom or even Spiritomb existed in this generation. It's gotta be Frostlass. Frostlass, I love it a lot. I don't really have a reason for it. Mainly probably just because of the lore behind it. But now dragon types, we have some competition here. We got Garchomp, we got Dialga, we got Palkia, which I already picked for water type, so I don't really want to pick it again. We have both Giratinas, and I believe this one's from like a Mystery Dungeon series. I could be wrong in thinking that, but I think it's from Mystery Dungeon. I could be wrong though. I think it's easily got to go Garchomp here. Garchomp and Cynthia are just way too iconic to not pick it. Boy, praise be Darkrai. I love him. I love Darkrai. Best steel type, though. My favorite steel type, I think it's actually going to be Empoleon. The only water steel type, I like it, personally. I personally like Empoleon. It's probably one of the best designed water starters, in my opinion. Fairy type, it's got to go Togekiss. There's only 2, and I'm not picking little Mime Jr. Favorite starter, again, I am a fire starter through and through, but I think Chimchar is the best, not even its fully evolved form. I love Chimchar. He's adorable. He was great in the anime. I love it. Love me some Chimchar. Now, gimmick forms, it's got a tough battle between these 3. It's either between Lucario, Garchomp, or Gallade. And really, I think Garchomp wins out on this one. Obama Snow isn't even that cool. He looks like a Christmas tree. He looks like if you're looking head on at a Christmas tree when it's on its side. You know what I mean? Like if a Christmas tree is leaned over, it looks like you're looking at the tip of the... Now, favorite legend. Now, there was a reason why I picked Palkia as the water type, because, again, I was a Pearl player growing up, which I will be picking Pearl as my choice in the Pokemon Go Sinnoh Tour. Super excited about that one. But Turtwig, second place. Piplup's last. They're all really good, though. That is probably one of the best, like, starter trios in the entire series, where every single one of them is iconic and amazing. But there's a reason why I picked Palkia as my water type, because Giratina is going to be my favorite legend. But now, favorite out of the whole generation 4, that's a tough choice. I think this is actually a tough choice, actually. For me, growing up, this used to be my favorite Pokemon, so I think I got to go with it, and that's Darkrai. From the Darkrai movie, it was amazing. I loved it. It was just so mysterious, and just like everything it did was just, I loved every bit of it. Don't ask why, but I do. It's just so good. Darkrai is easily, if I had to pick a favorite mythical, Darkrai would be my favorite mythical, 100%. But they don't give mythicals an option here, unless it's right here. Favorite mythical, I will come back to that. But favorite, all these normal types suck. Generation 5 normal types sucked. Like, look at this thing. This thing isn't good looking. I don't like Watchog at all. Stoutland's alright. Umpheasant in them, bad. Minchino's bad. You got the Deerling line, which is cool in theory, but like they're nothing special. Honestly, it's probably Braviary, because Bouffalan's just a wannabe Tauros. Gen 5 fire types, though. Now, y'all are gonna hate me, alright? It's gonna be Simisear. Easily the greatest fire type to ever be made. You know what? I'm not even finishing this list. It's gonna be my favorite fire type. Overall. Entirely. It's just that good. I love Simisear. If you guys can't tell, it's definitely not Simisear. Simisear sucks, and I don't like it. Now it's just going to sit there because I accidentally selected it, and I can't deselect it anymore. Hold on a second. There we go. Simisear sucks. No one likes the Monkey Trio at all. They suck. I mean, Volcarona's pretty cool. He's cool. I like Volcarona. Now, Gen 5 water types, all kind of bad. But I think for me, because again, I didn't play Gen 5, 6, and 7. I think for me, as far as everything here, it's going to be Jellicent strictly off of Pokemon Go and how much I use it in Pokemon Go and PvP. That's about it. I don't like this sprite, but I love this Pokemon as a whole. Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is such a good Pokemon design. I love every bit of it, especially its shiny form. Amazing. I love it. Again, all these just kind of suck. They really do. Like, but if I have to pick one, I guess it's going to be Thundurus. It's all just really bad in my opinion. And Kyurem White, Kyurem Black, I'm not gonna pick those. Like I think it's just gotta be Kyurem here, because like Cubchoo and Beartick are just kind of mid. Then you got Vanillite, Vanillish, and whatever these actually are. And then you got Cryogonal, which is just they're all really bad in my opinion. Now, fighting types, they're all fair. A lot of these are fairly decent, but I think I gotta go Conkeldurr, because these are cool in their own right, but like, to me, they feel incomplete. And I just love Conkeldurr, in my opinion. He's great. I didn't realize this would be this hard right now. I'm going Trubbish there. It's just, everything, a lot of those poison types are just mid, honestly. It's just all not really all that good. Now, ground types, there's a few good ones. You got Excadrill, you got Crocodile, you got Golurk, and you got Landorus. All fairly decent ground types, but I think overall, I think I like Golurk the most. In my opinion, Golurk's just so, like, in my opinion, it's a really unique Pokemon. I really like Golurk a lot. And again, flying types, these are all just really mid. Why was Gen 5 a lot of people's favorite Pokemon game? All these Pokemon just really kind of suck. Like, I like Archon. Archon is really, even though it's a baby form, I love Archon. But how was this a lot of people's favorite generation? I feel like a lot of these Pokemon are just kind of mid. Like, look at these psychic types. They all just kind of suck. Victini. We're just going Victini there. Like, there's no other real option. Now, bug types, you got Crustle. It was a semi-decent bug type. Escavalier, Excelgor, Genesect. I think we're going Escavalier. Escavalier is, I love Escavalier as a bug type. Rock type. Now, strictly because this was my first real shiny hunt in Pokemon Sword and Shield, we're going Gigalith because it is such a good looking shiny form. Like, look at that. Look at that shiny form. You can't tell me that's a good looking shiny form. It is amazing. I loved it. Ghost types. Chandelure. Chandelure, I feel like, is a lot of people's favorite Pokemon. I feel like we got to go with that one. Now, dragon types. Haxorus. Peak. Should have been a pseudo. Arguably could be a pseudo. Now, dark types, again, we got some good options. We got Crocodile. We got Zoroark. We got Bisharp. We got Zweilous. Even Zorua, I feel like, has a argument for being a really good dark type just because it's adorable. If anyone says their favorite Pokemon is Vullaby, you're just wrong. That thing has a diaper. No Pokemon that's wearing a diaper can be anyone's favorite. I know it's just its egg, bottom of its egg, but it's basically wearing a diaper. It's going to be Zweilous. Zweilous is such a good looking design. Steel types, Bisharp, great Pokemon, great design, great shiny form, love it all around. There's really no option here. It's got to be Whimsicott, I guess. Starter, though. Now, this is probably the only time where I'll say the Fire Starter isn't good. I really think it's literally just Samurot's the best one. Are there really only 2 gimmick forms? I guess it's going Garbodor. Gen 5 really got no love with its gimmick forms, did it? It really got no love whatsoever. And I think my favorite out of all the legendaries is going to be Zekrom. Because I don't, call me whatever you want. I don't like Reshiram's wings. It literally looks like he's just stuck like this forever. It's just not good in my opinion. I don't like it at all. Both their shinies suck, but like they all just suck in my opinion. Now, favorite from Generation 5, easily Haxorus. That thing, amazing, great shiny. Should have been a pseudo legendary, but it's not. It arguably is, but he's still iconic in every way, shape, and form. Now, Generation 6. Now again, I'm just gonna actually we had megas in this generation, so technically I could say, but I feel like that's a cop out for it. So I don't think I'm going to. But I think I'm just going to go Fletchling there. It's just, I feel like Fletchling is going to be picked a lot, this entire board. Because again, Talonflame, great fire type. Now, water types, I feel like it's a pretty easy choice here. And if I don't pick it, there's going to be a lot of dislikes on the video. So I feel like I have to choose Barbicle. I just have to. I'm just kidding. We're definitely going Greninja. Grass type, easily Trevenant. This is such like a good, well-designed Pokemon. I love every bit of it. It's amazing. Electric type, though. Why is there so many Pikachus? We're actually going to go Dedenne on electric types just because he's adorable and I love him and there's not a whole lot of choices. Again, not a whole lot of choices. We're going Aurorus because I'm not really a big fan of Bergmite and Avalugg. They're just kind of the boy Pancham. Love my boy Pancham. He the goat. We're gonna choose Dragalge here because I'm not gonna pick megas or anything like that for these because I feel like they came from other generations, so like I don't want to count that. You know what I mean? Now, granted, there's only 2 ground types, and I didn't know Zygarde was a ground type, but I guess it is. Honestly, I kind of like Diggersby. Holy flying types, mainly because of Vivillon. I don't know how to actually pronounce its name. Vivian, whatever it's pronounced. I know it starts with a V, so we're gonna go with that. Flying type, honestly, it's going to be Noivern. I feel like this is, I wouldn't say it's a slept-on Pokemon, but like it's a very well-designed Pokemon. I love it. I love it very much. Now we got Psychic types, and a lot of these Psychics are literally just Megas, but I like Hoopa Unbound, because like Inkay and Malamar, they're nothing really special. I'm not a fan of the Fire Starter in this one. I don't want to choose a Mega form. Guys, I'm choosing a Mega form. Because I'm not picking Spupa, Vivillon, or Scatterbug. They're not, I don't like them. Like, yeah, they're cool and all with their different, like, petal designs and whatnot. But, like, no. Heracross. Heracross is goated. I feel like this is an easy choice, too. It's Tyrantrum. All the way. It took him 6 generations to finally do a T-Rex Pokemon. And it took him that long to do it. And it's perfect. I love it. We're going to go Aegislash here. I feel like that's... I've already picked Trevenant, so I'm not picking it again. It's got to be Aegislash. Aegislash is so good. Now, we got Dragon type here. I know this Pokemon is hated a lot, but I'm picking it. It's Goodra. Goodra is by far one of my favorite dragon types of all time. And I realized that my favorite dragon type from every generation, except for Generation 5, and Generation 2, because Generation 2 didn't have a dragon type pseudo, are pseudo legendaries. And now favorite dark type, it's gonna be Pangoro. Pangoro is the boy. Pancham and Pangoro, it's obvious. Come on, y'all know I gotta love the boy. Steel type. Guys, we're choosing a Mega again. It's Mega Metagross because I'm not picking them again. It's definitely not gonna be a Klefki, so we're picking a Mega. Fairy typing. Only reason why there's a lot of fairy typings is because of the Flabebe line, which I kind of like the Flabebe line, but not enough to pick it as my favorite, especially since I'm not the biggest fan of Xerneas. I'm going with Sylveon here. Sylveon's just great all around. Easily best starter this entire generation. It's going to be Greninja. Most of the Chestnut just feels wrong. Like, here's my thing with Chestnut. If it had its shinies colors as its original color, it'd be good, but it doesn't. If its shiny colors were its original colors, I feel like it'd be a lot more people's favorite. Now, we get to pick our favorite Mega, and that's a really hard choice here. And I really feel like we're going to pick this again. It's going to be Mega Rayquaza, because there's really nothing that really competes with it. It's Mega Rayquaza. It's probably going to be my favorite gimmick form at the end of the line. It's just that good. Now, favorite legendary from this entire generation is going to be Yveltal. I love Yveltal. It's one of my favorite shiny Pokemon of all time. It's great. I love every bit of it. Now, Gen 6, favorite Pokemon to come out of Gen 6. There are 2 options here from either between Pancham, just because, you know, he's a panda, and I love pandas, or Goodra, or even Yveltal. There's really 3 that I'm going back and forth on here. But I think for namesake reason, it's got to be Pancham. He the boy, he the panda, I'm the panda, he the man, you know what I mean? Generation 7, again, a game that I didn't play, but honestly has some pretty good Pokemon in it. You got Drampa, Donald Trump. I think it's going to be type Null, honestly. I'm a big fan of type. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was an actual Pokemon until I played Generation 8, and it really confused me. Like, it really just confused me. Every way, shape, and form. Favorite fire type, Blacephalon. This thing is amazing. I love every bit of it. I know a lot of people don't like Ultra Beast, but I love Blacephalon. Everything about him, amazing. Water types from Generation 7. Honestly, it's probably Jupiter. He's just so goofy, and he literally has an air bubble on his head. I love it. No, he's a water bubble. It's a water bubble. He has to be underwater. I'm dumb. Favorite grass type. I feel like this one's kind of easy. It's Rowlet. Hands down. Rowlet's the bestest. I love him. He's adorable. Now, electric type, there's a few contenders here. Alolan Raichu's pretty good. Vikavolt and Charjabug. No, Vikavolt and Charjabug, yeah, are good. Xurkitree is pretty good. But honestly, I think I gotta go Alolan Raichu there. He's literally surfing on his tail. What's there not to love? Favorite ice type? That's a good question. Honestly, it's Alolan Ninetales. All around, it's such a good, like, new version to the Pokemon. I love every bit of it. Also, if none of y'all have watched the Sun and Moon anime on Netflix, I highly recommend. I think it's on Netflix. I don't remember what it's actually on. But either way, find a way to watch it. It is so good. I love it. Now, favorite fighting type. Easily, Como. Probably one of my favorite pseudo-legendaries. Mainly, because look at this shiny form. Look at that. It's the pink and the yellow. It's so good. It's just so bright and out there. I love it. Favorite poison type. You got Nagandel. You got, I totally forget. It starts with a P, I'm pretty sure. Poipole. Poipole is what it is. Alolan Muck. You got Nihilego. I think we're going Nagandel here. Ground type from Generation 7. Honestly, we're going Palossand here. Palossand, underrated Pokemon. Especially, it had a really good episode in the anime. I loved it. Now, favorite flying type, I actually like the Miniors. They're really cool. I like the bright colors on them. But I love this Oricorio. The white, not the white, but the red and the black. I love every bit of it. I wish this was our regional to this part of America in Pokemon Go, but we get the pom-pom yellow one. I hate it. We always get the terrible regionals. Hate it in Pokemon Go. Now, favorite psychic type? You gotta be Necrozma. I love Necrozma. He's such a cool designed Pokemon. Love every bit of him. Favorite bug type, though? Buzzwole. I love the beefy boy, the beefy mosquito. And favorite rock type of this generation? Again, the Miniors aren't going to be one of my favorites just because they're kind of basic, if you ask me. But it's got to be Midnight Form Lycanroc. Again, the edgy boy in me. I'm picking it. It's such a well-designed Pokemon. My favorite ghost type is the boy, Mimikyu. There's no other options. It's Mimikyu. Hands down. Favorite dragon type of this generation? I think, again, it's got to be Como. Like, it's just such... It's one of my favorite pseudo-legendary. Same with Goodra. These are probably my two favorite pseudos. Dark type, it's going to be Guzzlord. Love Guzzlord. Every bit of them. Love it. Steel type. Not really a whole lot going for steel types, huh? That's got to go Melmetal on that one. Now, fairy type. This guy's broken Mimikyu. The only option. Easily the Decidueye. Best starter of this generation. Hands down. Probably one of the best starters of all time. Being that grass ghost type. Now, gimmick forms. Oh, I guess these are just the Alolan versions of Pokemon. Now, I know I didn't pick it, but it's probably one of my favorites. That's Alolan Marowak. It is such a well-designed Pokemon, and it finally gave some love to Marowak. I love it. Alolan Marowak, so good. And I have 2 Shadow Shinies in Pokemon Go from Marowak. Be jealous. Now, favorite legend, again, probably Necrozma. It's definitely Necrozma. Now, I'm not going to pick any of the convergent forms or whatever, but yeah, you're going to be Necrozma. And honestly, favorite is Mimikyu. There's no other answer for me. It's Necrozma. Now, favorite normal type from Generation 8. And I guess Hisui is technically Gen 8 for this, since it came out between Gen 8 and 9. So I guess it's considered Gen 8. That's why we have Hisui and Zorua here. But honestly, Obstagoon. Such a well-designed Pokemon. I love each and every bit of it. And now, Hisuian Typhlosion. I feel like that's kind of like a cop-out for this generation, considering it was like a standalone, its own thing. But still, it's beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. And I'm so excited for Raid Day tomorrow. But sadly, I won't be able to film content on it, sadly. But I love it. Now, favorite water type from Gen 8. I feel like a lot of this is... this has anime bias to me. Because the Pokemon Gen 8 anime had Dracovish in it, and it was amazing. And I love every bit of Dracovish in that anime. So that kind of just won it over for me. Now, Gen 9 grass types is going to be flat. It's going to be Applin for me. Applin's just adorable, and I love every bit of them. Now, favorite electric type for Gen 8. We got Toxel, another diaper-wearing Pokemon. I actually think it's going to be Regieleki, because that's the Reggie that I actually got from the Gen 8 DLC. I love Regieleki. I like it a lot more than Regidrago. Just saying. And it's got to be Ice Cube. He's wearing a little ice block for a head. He's adorable. I love him. Now, there really was a lot of fighting types this generation. But Sirfetch'd, I think he takes it. Sirfetch'd was amazing. I love every single bit of him. Poison types for Gen 8. I think it's gotta be Eternatus. That thing is insane. It's gotta be Eternatus. Ground types for Gen 8? There really wasn't a whole lot. You have Siliconda, you got Galarian Stunfisk, Runerigus, which is definitely my option there. Now, flying types. You got some good ones here, because Corviknight being flying steel type, you got the new Galarian Birds, which easily my favorite from all the Galarian Birds. It's going to be Moltres, and it's going to be my favorite of the flying types. It's such a well-designed Pokemon. I love the redesign. Honestly, same with Galarian Articuno. It's going to be my favorite psychic type. Because really, like, Orbeetle's cool and all, but it's like, I'm not a big fan of all the bug types, you know? But granted, Centiskorch is really good. I really like Centiskorch. Now, rock type, I think it's gonna be Hisuian Growlithe. That's its name. I'm dumb. I don't know why my mind went so blank there, but it's Hisuian Growlithe. Great Pokemon, hands down. Ghost types, Hisuian Zoroark. It's just so good. Like, I'm sorry, Dragapult, but Hisuian Zoroark's just so cool looking. Especially with its shiny, it's just so good. Dragon types, now, this is where Dragapult wins. Because Duraludon, he's aight. Dracovish and all them, they're aight. Flapple, Appleton, they aight. But they don't beat Dragapult. Being Dragon, Ghost type, is insane. I love every bit of it. Now, favorite Dark type from Generation 8. Again, I don't really know how I feel about all these Dark types. Like, I already picked you. You're but I don't really like you all that much, to be honest. I think we're going Hisuian Moltres again. It's really just an all-around great Pokemon. Now, Steel type from Gen 8. It's gotta be Corviknight. Corviknight's just such a good, probably easily one of the best regional birds. Fairy type from Gen 9. If anyone picks Enamorous, you're just wrong. It's gotta be Grimmsnarl. I love Grimmsnarl. Very well-designed Pokemon. They're really good typing there. Yeah, being Dark Fairy type, I love it. Hisuian Typhlosion, best starter. A lot of the starters from this generation being Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon, they're aight. They're nothing really special. Now we got a lot of gimmick forms to choose from. Holy, there is really a lot of gimmick forms to choose from. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. Honestly, I picked it twice, so I think I feel like I have to go with it. It's one of my favorite redesigns of all time, being Galarian Moltres. And I feel like I'm about to pick it again, too, because it's in the legendaries, and I'm not a big fan of the origin forms. You suck. Don't really have any affiliation with you. You got a fat head, and you're on all three of these. Nothing really special. Really good. Never even finished that DLC. Honestly, it's gonna be Moltres. Now, my favorite from this generation, now that's gonna be a bit of a hard decision here. Like, you got Hisuian Typhlosion, you have Obstagoon, Sirfetch'd, Galarian Moltres. I think it's gotta be Galarian Moltres. I feel like it'd be double standard if I picked like Obstagoon here or something, or even Sirfetch'd when this was my favorite gimmick form and my favorite legend. I feel like it just has to be Moltres there. There's no other real option. Now, normal types for the most recent generation, Generation 9. It has to be and always will be Lechonk. He is the greatest boy. Now, fire types from Generation 9. They gotta be Lechonk. He did Chompy boy. I love him so much. Easily. And I'm gonna do it right now just because I'm about to say it. The best starter ever made. I love Lechonk. Every bit of him. The Chompy boy, he's perfect. I would not change a thing about him. Water type Gen 9. What's the difference? There's two Palafins here. Not Palafins, but... Oh, that's Palafin before he's Palafin. Got it. It's gonna be Dondozo, though. Grass type Gen 9. I never really used any of them at all. Except for, I was actually a big fan of this one. Dipplin. Love Dipplin. I never actually used him. But I do love his redesign. I think he's amazing. Electric type... Really not a whole lot of good options here. I think it's got to be Iron Hands here, because I don't like the thing around its neck on Raging Bolt. I think it's got to be Iron Hands. Now, Ice type, that's going to be Cetitan here. Cetitan, I got a shiny one in that game. It was one of my first shinies in the game. I found it randomly. It's got to be it. And now, Fighting type, we got some contenders here. But I think it's got to be Annihilate. This thing, literally, it got so angry, it died, and now it's an evolution. It's perfect. I love it. Gen 9 poison types. Clodsire, no real competition there. Round types, I think, what do I think? I don't know what I think. This Ursaluna Blood Moon, I totally forget its actual name. But like this whole design and everything around this Pokemon, it's just so good. I totally forget what it's called. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be upset about that choice, but like it's just so good. Iron Jugulus, there really is no real competition for flying type because you got the Squawkabillies, which they're a regional bird. They're nothing special. Like I say, they're not even regional birds, are they? No, they are regional birds, but I guess we got two this generation. I don't really like Wattrel. It's gotta be Iron Jugulus. Bug type, though, again, no real contenders except for like Armarouge. Armarouge is really good as a psychic type. I really enjoy that one. Bug type, easily Slitherwing. No real competition there. He gonna be the boy Cloth. I love the little crab boy. Ghost types, Gen 9. Gholdengo. It's gotta be Gholdengo. That thing is so broken. It's amazing. Dragon type, Roaring Moon. I'm not picking the paperclip, Bennett. I'm sorry. I just realized I'm off the screen right now. Chat's gonna be in the way, so it's going away right now. But easily going to be Roaring Moon. Dark type. Now there's a lot of contenders here. King Gambit. Like there's so many good dark types in this generation, but King Gambit's just so cool. But yeah, I'm sorry, Bennett. It's never gonna be your boy Archaludon. He's just literally a paperclip remover. Stapler remover, not paperclip. Steel types. I think I'm gonna go Gholdengo there too. Fairy types. Tinkaton. That thing was so much fun to use in my playthrough. Gimmick types. Really not a whole lot, but I think it's gotta be Wooper. Just that smile, I love it. And now favorite legendary is gonna be my boy Koraidon. Everything about him, I love it. He's been so good at my playthrough. I love it. Now my favorite throughout the entire Generation 9. Now that's a tough choice. Because you got Gholdengo, who again has been really good. You got my boy Titan, who is my first shiny. Clodsire, Roaring Moon, Box Art Legendary. I think it's got to be Roaring Moon. It's just something about that new form I love. But now we got to crown the favorite. But before we do that, we're going to go here and do a few of these because I feel like this is what everyone's waiting for, but we're not going to do that yet. Favorite regional bird, honestly, it's going to be Fletchling there. Favorite mammal, everyone bow down to our Lord and Savior Bidoof. Favorite regional bug, I like Spinarak. Spinarak is actually one of my favorites as far as all bug types go. Favorite pseudo legendary though, now a very unpopular opinion here. I feel like this is going to cause some comments in the YouTube video. Goodra. I love Goodra. Favorite Pikachu clone? Mimikyu, easily. Favorite evolution now? Umbreon. Easy choices here. Favorite fossil type? Easily Archeops. That's Archon, not Archeops. Archon. Great. Now my favorite... Ooh, now this one's going to be it's not a hard choice. It's going to be Galarian Moltres. So good. Now, favorite Gigantamax form. Now, I feel like there's only one real option here, and it's not Garbodor, because that's the only one. I only chose two here, and I feel like the only real option here is going to be Snorlax. Where is he? Yeah, that's the boy right there. Now, favorite baby form? Munchlax. Easily. He the boy, look at them eyes. Them some beady eyes. Favorite box art legendary. He's going to be the boy. He's going to be Giratina. Nothing better than Giratina. Now, favorite mythical, like I said earlier, easily hands down going to be Darkrai. Favorite Ultra Beast, easily hands down Blacephalon. Look at the shiny real quick for those who haven't seen it. That's so cool. He looks like he's ready for a rave. Favorite Paradox form. Now, I played Pokemon Scarlet. I had the prehistoric ones, but Iron Valiant definitely has a case here. But for me, I'm going Roaring Moon here, honestly. Favorite typing? Gotta be Ghost type. I love the Ghost type. I think the thing that I like the most about Ghost types is their Pokedex entries. They are amazing. They're always so messed up. I love them. Favorite Pokeball? Give me the Quick Ball. Shiny Hunters, you know what I mean. Favorite Vivillon is going to be this Sunrise one. This one was always my favorite whenever trying to get it in Pokemon Go. I love the little Sunrise one. Alcremie, I don't know. That one, I guess. It has different berries, too. Those, I guess. I don't know. I'm not doing Spinda because, really, I'm not going through and trying to figure out which one's my favorite. Favorite new evolution. There's some really good ones for this one. Now, this one was one of my favorite, regional forms out of, all of these combined. I think it's Obstagoon. I loved Obstagoon. It gave Zigzagoon something that was amazing. I love what the Pokemon's type is. Granted, it's really weak to fighting types, but that's besides the point. My point is, the theme of it is amazing. I love it. It's my favorite new evolution to a Pokemon. Great. But favorite normal type, it's got to be Snorlax. It's Gen 1. I know what a lot of people are gonna say. Oh, he likes Gen 1 Pokemon. Of course he's a Gen 1. I like Snorlax. Okay, hop off. Favorite fire type? It's definitely gonna be Hisuian Typhlosion. Just everything about like the fire and stuff like that, and the fact that he looks absolutely fried. I love it. Water types. You gotta be Ludicolo. I didn't realize my water types are kind of mid in my opinion. Like, I think it's actually gonna be Quagsire. I just love his derpiness. Favorite grass type now? Probably Ferrothorn. Honestly, Ferrothorn is... I love every bit of Ferrothorn. Electric types, Alolan Raichu. Don't ask why. I just like Alolan Raichu. A lot of these options, I just feel like aren't very strong compared to Alolan Raichu. That's such a great regional form. Favorite ice type? It's Boysphere. He's the round boy. I love him. He's so derpy. Favorite fighting type is gotta be Annihilate too. It was either that or Pancham. I don't think branding really takes over Annihilate. That could just be recency bias, but that's just me. Poison type? I think it's Crobat here. Crobat's just such a good evolution line. It's stood the test of time since Gen 2. It's just so good. Ground type overall. It's gonna be Gible, the chompy boy. Love him. Favorite flying type. I don't think Galarian Moltres tops Rayquaza here. It just doesn't. Galarian Moltres has no chance against Rayquaza at all. It's just too perfect. Favorite psychic type now is easily gonna be Metagross. That thing is just so good. Everything about it is perfect. It's Mega Form, so good. Everything about it, great. Now, favorite bug type. I think it's gonna be Skorupi. Skorupi's just great. Everything about him, he's perfect. Same with the rock type. He's probably gonna be Tyrantrum. Like I said, it took them 6 years to finally make a T-Rex Pokemon, and it's perfect. It's everything I wanted in a T-Rex Pokemon. Ghost type, easy. It's gonna be Mimikyu. Dragon type, again, almost every single one of them here is a pseudo-legendary, but we're going with Goodra. He's my favorite dragon type. Dark type, Darkrai. Hands down. Darkrai, like I said, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time growing up. You cannot fight the Darkrai. Now, favorite steel type. Yeah, it's got to be Mega Metagross. Because I was about to change it to Gholdengo, but I feel like that's just recency bias and how good he is in Generation 9. But Mega Metagross, it's just that, the anime, the shiny in the anime, it's just perfect all around. Now, favorite fairy typing? Again, just undisguised Mimikyu. Now, favorite starter, Fuecoco. 100% the Chompy Boy is the best of all time. Now, favorite gimmick form, easily, hands down, again, is going to be Mega Rayquaza. Again, probably the best gimmick form, Mega, of all time. Is perfect. I feel like there is no one that will say that it is bad. Now, my favorite legendary, hands down, easily Lugia. I feel like Lugia is, and honestly, the best way I can describe it, you can't dislike Lugia. It's just great. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. My favorite Pokemon of all the generations. And if you know me or been around my channel enough, it's Mimikyu. There's no real competition. It's the boy. Like, quite literally. He is the perfect boy. I love him. He's the homie. Now, that is my list of all my favorite Pokemon. Whether y'all disagree or agree, these are all my favorites. So take it in and enjoy. Because these are all my favorites of every single type, every single generation, and all my favorites of each category. I think it's perfect. The perfect list, if I say so myself. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys did enjoy this list and the video. Even if you didn't agree with my picks, I hope you did still enjoy your time here. If you did, be sure to drop a like. Let me know what you would change and let me know what your favorite Pokemon is. Because obviously, you already know mine. And it's the only right option. But either way, I appreciate y'all so very much if you made it this far, because I know it's going to be a long video after doing this entire stream. I appreciate y'all. And again, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. And I'll catch you guys in the next video or live stream. See y'all then. Peace.